Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm back. My bad. I've been out for about a month. I see you be Amos in the chat talking about where I was. Man, it's been busy. I moved. It's just a lot trying to figure out how to make content right now. I'm doing my best to stay as consistent as possible now. Starting today, I'm gonna have a video coming out tomorrow probably for you guys. Pretty much just reacting to the game, giving my overall views just as we're doing today. But let me know if the mic sounds good as well. Make sure it sounds good. There's no breaks in anything before we get started. But oh man, when I tell y'all, man, it's been a roller coaster the last couple weeks with this team. That is a understatement. But how you been, BMOS? I'm gonna let y'all know, man. Again, it's just been a lot trying to make content. You know, like nothing's been wrong with me or nothing like that. But you know, it's just hard to make content right now because I'm in a little room right here. This is not in my house. So just trying to make content. But I'm telling you right now, I'm going to have my own little setting and my own setup. Just like I see you, Caleb, in the chat right now. I have my own little setup. Months ago, for a long time, my own room. I can't do that right now. About March, I'm going to be able to have my own room, my own setup again, stuff like that. So we will be back. I'm telling you right now, with a cool little background, an actual room. It's just hard because I'm literally in public right now making content. So it's not where I want to be. It's not how I want to do it. But one thing I'm going to do is keep showing up for y'all. That's the first thing. So, but yeah, this has been a roller coaster. I've not made a video in about 4 weeks. I haven't been live in about 4 weeks. We can touch on everything that's happened because this has been the craziest 4 weeks as a Panthers fan. And I haven't been here to discuss it. And we have one more week left, and you either win or get it next week against the Bucks on the road. So what's up, Caleb? He said, my go, bro. We can all agree JC sold on that 3rd and 21. It's not even a debate. When I tell y'all, man, I love JC, was my favorite player, has been my favorite defensive player for a long time. Last couple years has been my favorite defensive player. He sold way too many times this year. Way too many times JC has sold in big time moments. And it's just depressing. And this was the biggest one because at the end of the day, the Dolphins, and makes it even worse is because the Dolphins literally were winning the game the entire time. It was the 4th quarter, that 3rd and 21. The Dolphins locked that game up. You get a stop there. We get the ball back with a chance to tie the game. As soon as he got that flag, I knew it was over. At the end of the day, the defense, you just gave the Seahawks too many opportunities on offense. Our offense had nothing to show for. And I have a lot to discuss about a lot of players, a lot of individual players, specifically in this game, just overall heading into next week. Let me know. Are you guys confident, by the way, in next week at all? I'm going to let you know right now, man, my confidence level is shook because it's just going to be tough. Like, it's going to be tough to beat them twice. It's on the road in Tampa Bay. It's just going to be tough to go out there and beat them. And you had so many opportunities to be in the playoffs by now. Think about it. Just win one of those Saints games and you're in already. Like, this game wouldn't matter today. If you win one of those New Orleans games, you're in the playoffs today without even – it doesn't matter the outcome of today's game against Seattle. And you didn't take care of business. And what makes it even worse is that you had another opportunity to make a play, talking about J.C. Horn, to get a stop. Don't get that face mask. Get the ball back. Have a chance to score there. To tie the game at 17 doesn't matter. It's just the missed opportunities all year long. And I see people talking on Twitter and stuff like that. And I understand, right? This is a season that we all expected 8-9 wins. This should be an accomplishment. But it makes it worse when you are winning against teams like this all year. The Rams, the Packers, right? People want to throw more games out at me that we've won against good competition, some of the best in the league all year long. And you don't beat teams like the Saints at least one time. And it's just like, we're better than this. We should have already clinched a spot. We could have 10 wins right now currently, and be in the playoffs. Like, it would be different. Again, if I'm trying to, if it makes sense, it would be so much different, kind of how we should be feeling as a fan base at the moment. If we lost to teams like the Rams and the Packers, beat the Saints, right, then we're where we need to be. Okay, with 8 wins. But we're at 8 wins against some of the best teams in the league, and we're being competitive against some of the best teams in the league. The defense today showed out against a 12-3 team in the NFC. We played the worst offensive half all year long, in my opinion, in the first half, and we literally were tied at 3-3 at halftime. You make a couple more plays, you don't turn a ball over, you don't make critical mistakes, you're in this game and you have a chance to win the game. And that's why it sucks. And I don't want to hear, I understand like we are better than we were last year, right? We're making progress. Absolutely. But it's just the critical mistakes and those little things, they hurt. They hurt because we are better than this, I think. And we proved it all year. I mean, at the end of the day, we've proven it all season long that we are better because we've beaten teams that are some of the best in the league. I love him too, but he's too physical. All we had to do was win it. It would have been in different games. He was cuz that easy ad ball too. Yeah, man. It sucks. It sucks. And I absolutely understand if you guys are on that side where it's like just on the next week, right? Or no, sorry. I understand if you guys are talking like, we're better this year than we were last year. We're taking baby steps. I understand those points. Absolutely do. Because not a lot of people even thought we would be 8-9 win team, right? Especially the way the season started. But the way we bounced back and did our thing, it definitely does hurt. It definitely does hurt. But yeah. What's up, my son? He said Canales is a floor raiser, not a ceiling raiser. Eventually, we might let him go after 1 to 3 years down the road. He's too safe. Right now, I think that's a good point. I think he is a floor raiser. I think that's a big key right now because he does tend to put his guard up in terms of play calling against some of the biggest games. That is something that I think is a big question mark when it comes to him being a play caller. As a head coach, again, right, he's too young. He's in year 2 as a head coach. I think it's too early to say what he is and what he isn't as a coach and an offensive play caller. It's too early. Okay, it's too early. He's in year 2. But he is definitely a floor raiser because he's proven it. Like we started, 1-3 this year. We bounced back, beat the Packers, beat Cowboys, beat some of the best teams in the league, some of the best offenses in the league, some of the best defenses in the league, and been good at that. But then we also lost to some of the teams that we should not have lost to. Like this, losing to the Saints twice is not acceptable. Okay, so at this point, I do believe, and I do agree with you, that Dave Canales currently is a floor raiser and not a ceiling raiser at the moment. But I think that's going to come with time if he gets there. Okay, I think it's better right now as a head coach, a young head coach, that he is a floor raiser. Okay, because it shows the potential they does have as a head coach. A lot of people are just overreact. 1 week they're like Dave Canales is amazing. The next they're like he's not. This fan base just doesn't know how to be patient with some people and some, either coaches or players. It's just how it is with this fan base, unfortunately. But I do agree. At the moment, Dave Canales is definitely a floor raiser and not a ceiling raiser at the moment. But that's expected. He's in year 2 as a head coach. It's going to take time. It's just how it is. But the Dave Canales talks, again, that's definitely a question mark in terms of being a head coach. He gets a little too conservative when it comes to calling the biggest games. It's actually, it doesn't help me in my stress level because today's game was actually huge because when I was looking at I was box score watching the entire time the Bucs were playing the Dolphins, right? As I'm assuming y'all were too. And man, when I tell y'all the entire game, the Dolphins were up, they were up 10.5. I was like, this game is actually bigger than we think. And then we just sold. We had the opportunity. It was 3-3 halftime. I was like, man, we had the opportunity to go out there, just make plays. And we made the opposites when it came to plays. It sucks. But successful season, win or lose versus the Bucs. Yeah, I mean, we can look at it that way. Again, I do think that at the end of the day, you're better than this, in my opinion, the way you've proven to beat some of the best team in the league and be competitive towards the end of the stretch of the season. Rams, Cowboys, Packers, even today, you were competitive, so it sucks. But what's up, SC Panthers? He said, welp, on to next Sunday. Yeah. That's got to be the mindset. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie. If we do lose next Sunday, it's just going to be, I'm going to be pretty upset personally. But we will just get there when we get there. Caleb said, if we lose next week, will you tap in some NFL draft talks? Yeah, I've been wanting to do that. But again, I've been posting about 4 weeks. I said I was going to do that around the time that about 4 weeks ago when I stopped we're gonna hit into that for sure. For sure. Yes. Yes. Um, it sucks because I wanted to get a couple videos out now. I've already done my deep dives personally on some players, corners, linebackers, edge rushers. I've done a ton of tape watching on a ton of different college players. So we're definitely going to tap into that no matter what. Even maybe during playoff time. Like even if we make the playoffs, I might even drop some all 22 film. I might even start a Patreon. Probably tonight. Actually, just make one and start that for you guys. Where pretty much every game I drop all 22 from specific players on the team that week and some draft players, just so you guys can get that Patreon experience and just you guys can watch the film yourself. So I just dropped the all 22. I record it. Let's say Mike Jackson today, who was a great player, great player today. He's been a great player all year for us, but that's kind of what I'm probably going to want to do is start a Patreon, start tapping in more, doing more for you guys. 'Cause at the end of the day, I haven't been showing up for y'all, as y'all know, but I'm going to post more videos this week. Definitely at least one tomorrow, Tuesday, and then see what happens throughout the week. Might even go live Saturday night to do my Bucks preview. It's just the Patreon is a good idea. I might just start it for free for you guys, for probably a month or two, just so you guys can tap onto that, see. But that's my plan is do a Patreon for you guys that want to hop into it. Pretty much you guys can look at there. I'm going to drop like 6 different players. Like Nick scored today. The entire all 22 film from Nick scoring every single snap. Do the same with Mike Jackson. Those specific things, those players, and then some players from the draft, those specific games. Just do that for you guys. So it's more diverse. I'm not just hopping on here, talking on live streams and stuff like that. It's more diverse and I have more stuff for you guys to do. So that's the plan for that. When it comes to draft and just film watching for you guys, I'm going to do that. My son said this offense was so horrible. I was hesitant for our receiver, tight end round 1, but now I'm all in. Mekhi Lemon, here we come. Mekhi Lemon's a great player. I'm not gonna lie to you. And listen, XL off the table. That guy's trash. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. XL, I'm off of him personally. I don't know how you guys feel about Xavier Leggett. I'm off of him. He's just not a playmaker at all. Has not been all year long, making critical mistakes as well. Jalen Coker, love T-Mac. But we need another playmaker. And I mean, we see teams around the league. Some of the best teams in the NFL have 2 playmakers at receiver. So I will not be upset if we really like Mekhi Lemon or we really like that Oregon tight end. I would not be upset if we decided to take them round 1, even though I think corner and we could value some of that more. Even middle linebacker, receiver is actually a very good position in the draft. So if you really don't like the ceiling of Jalen Coker as a team and you want to go like Mekhi Lemon, who has a great ceiling in the slot, I would not be upset if we did that personally. Because Mekhi Lemon is super talented. He has insane potential as a player already. So that's my opinion on receiver and tight end personally in the first round. I would not be mad at it all. Not for real. I want us to draft him so bad. He's good to replace XL. Sorry for him, though. Yeah. Again, Mekhi Lemon, he's one of those players that I would not be upset if we decided to draft personally, just because he is, besides Carnell Tate, he's honestly, arguably, I think he's on the level of Carnell Tate in terms of just at his position in the slot. He's so good. He's so, slippery in the slot. He can get open. He's a great route runner, all that. Why do I see people having us taking tight end from Oregon, though? Do we really need tight end? I see that in an edge. So tight end position is interesting because we are, obviously we have Mitchell Evans. I don't know what we're going to do with that position, to be honest with you. That's a very interesting position to look at when it comes to the draft. I don't know if I want to take a tight end round 1. That's only if we really like a tight end that much. Just because I do think there's more talent to be taken, but I think we're at the position now where we can't take best player available. So if we do think a tight end is best player available or receiver is the best player available, even though maybe linebacker, corner may be bigger positions of need, I could see us doing it. I will not be upset at it because of that reason, just because I want to see more talent. And Mekhi Lemon is one of the best talented players in this draft, personally, in my opinion. But that's my thought of that. Why do we draft edge even though we need it badly? We drafted 2 last year. Yeah. I mean, the way Nick scoring is honestly progressing as a edge right now, I don't even think an edge rusher would be needed. The edge room is not that great so far in this draft. It's really not. I mean, David Bailey, I love David Bailey. Personally, I do think he has really great potential as a edge rusher, but no one has a high floor at the moment. And I feel like if you want to draft a player at the edge position, honestly, the range we're going to be at, because we're not going to have a top 10 pick, even if we lose next week, I think when it comes to edge rusher, there's just not that many great players. And David Bailey most likely will be a top 12 pick in the draft because of his talent level. And he's really the only player that I see with like a really high ceiling in this draft class when it comes to edge rusher, not including like Ruben Bain, because he's going to be a top 3 pick. We're not going to have that selection. So don't even think about Ruben Bain. Cassius Howell was big. Cassius Howell player. Watched the Miami game, was a no-show. And I don't know if I'm ready for players. I mean, we took Nick Scorton and Princely, who in my opinion had really low floors when we drafted him, especially Nick. And you're seeing the potential there with Nick already with the pass rush ability, which was a great selection, is looking like from Dan Morgan. But I don't want to draft a player in the first round who has a really low floor and we're banking on the ceiling. I'm not trying to see that. I want a player that has a really high floor, can come right away, make an impact to a team that's going to be in the playoffs next year, coming right away at a position of need and do their thing, right? And as you said, Caleb, Mansour Delane at corner, a great player, one of my favorite players in this draft out of LSU. Me personally, Jermon McCoy out of Tennessee, he did not play all year this year because of an ACL tear. When I tell you his film in 2024, he's one of the best players in this draft. He's easily one of the best players in this draft. He's from Tennessee, if you guys were not aware. The corner from Tennessee. Again, I'm really excited because I love the draft personally. I love talking draft. It's one of my favorite things about the NFL. So it seems like you guys are excited about that too. So I might come out with a video potentially, or maybe do a live stream just breaking down film for you guys. But Jermon McCoy, corner is a really big position. I really think corner, the first round this year, is so elite. I mean, Mansour Delane, Jermon McCoy, one of my 2 favorite players in this draft personally, LSU and Tennessee. But again, Mike Jack, as I was saying, he's playing really well. It's going to be interesting to see what we do. It's going to be interesting because I really don't like Shaw Smith-Wade. Personally, he's not been good enough, in my opinion, heading into year 3 next year for me to say he's going to be our slot corner. But Mike Jack's been good. I mean, he might get paid personally. I really, really, really think that he could get paid. Is he going to get paid JC's money? Absolutely not. But he's been very consistent this year. Surprising. He started off the year rough in terms of consistency, but the last 6 weeks or so, he's been very good in terms of a corner. Today, he played a very good game. Definitely our best, one of our best players on defense today. It sucks, man, because this team was literally a couple plays away from winning this game. And we would be in the playoffs right now, but we're not. And the way y'all talking, I really feel like y'all are not confident that we're going to win next week. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm like 50-50. I have no idea what's going to happen next week. It's hard to win twice. The Bucs are a good team. I know they're spiraling and they're not playing good right now, but the Bucs are a good football team. They have a great, could have a great offense in terms of their talent level. It just like that game's going to be so tough. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. If we lose next week, it's going to be very hard for me to swallow an entire offseason of not beating the Saints one time and having to get all the way down to the last game of the season against the Bucs. And we lose the game and we're not in the playoffs and we allow them to get in with 8 wins. We need to win next week or we're all going to be depressed. I'm going to be depressed personally. I'm not, but I mean, I'm going to be really upset. But it's just hard, man. It's just hard. It's a division game on the road with the playoffs on the line. Beating them twice is just going to be hard. It's just going to be hard. I'm going to keep it real with y'all right now. Everyone that's watching this game that believes we're going to come out here next week and beat them, and it's going to be a tight game. I just don't know if beating them twice is on the table. I'm just going to be honest. We had our chance today. The Dolphins won. We had our chance to beat the Seahawks to just clinch it today, and we didn't do it. So next week's going to be a terrible one. From minute 1 to last second of the game, I'm going to be scared. Yeah, Caleb, you said I want that Mansour Delane kid from LSU. Great player. In terms of just the potential he has with his length, his size, his coverage abilities, elite. And we do play a lot of zone. He can play zone and man coverage. LSU plays a lot of zone, and he really can play zone. He doesn't get thrown out a lot because he is really good and he is really lengthy as a corner. He has a really good floor. in terms of he has really good floor in terms of a corner, which is why I'm saying with the team that's going into the playoffs, you want to draft a player that has a decent floor. Okay. You also want to bank on the ceiling. You don't want to draft a player that you really don't like the ceiling of, but you think their floor is amazing. Because that's not going to help you out in the long run, right? You want to draft a player in 2025 in the NFL draft. If you're in the playoffs, look at the Eagles. They draft players in the end of the first round that come in from Georgia because, players from Georgia usually have a high floor, but they also bank on that ceiling as well. We need to do the same thing in this draft as well. Bank on a player that can come in and help you right away. And kind of like T-Mac, bank on a player that can come in right away and help you, and also have a great ceiling. Because T-Mac is still going to be developing. He's about to hit 1,000 yards. He needs like 70 yards next week in order to hit that, which I really hope he does. But he needs that. Okay. But he's still developing. He's still getting better as a player, as a receiver. We need to do that this year again. And there's so many players that you can do that with. But drafting a player like Keldrick Falk from Auburn in terms of a pass rusher, if you guys haven't seen his film, his ceiling might be really high, but his floor is literally just a run stopper. He has not shown any really ability in terms of getting after the passer, in terms of an edge rusher. If you guys want to see his film, he's like a really, I'm telling you, his ceiling's high because of his size. He's like 215. He's like 6'4". He's a really big pass rusher, and he has a great ceiling, but he hasn't really tapped into that anything like in college at Auburn. In terms of that pass rusher. So it's kind of like he's a player that I would not be upset really if we drafted at pick 15, 16 in that range if we get that pick. But he's also a player that I don't think has a really high ceiling or a high floor right now that can come in and do his thing right away. We would be banking on that ceiling. That would take a year, kind of like Princely, right? I thought it was flipped between Princely and Nick. Nick is coming out here and doing his thing, getting better and better and better. As a pass rusher, that started like a great pick from Dan Morgan. But Mansour Lane, a perfect example of my archetype that I want to draft in the first round. Player that has a high floor, can come in right away and help your team out, but also has a really good ceiling because of that size, because of his ability to play zone and man coverage, stuff like that. It's kind of what I'm looking at when it comes to drafting a player in the first round. Kind of like Mekhi Lemon, can come in right away. Who can come right away, play in the slot, get some snaps, be a really good route runner, makes good plays, also has a really high ceiling. Players like that. He said, or Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles, great player, great player. Obviously, if linebackers at that position, would love Sonny Styles personally. Obviously, out of Ohio State, would love Sonny Styles. It's going to be interesting because the linebacker position, this whole draft is really interesting because the edge position is not really top heavy. There's going to be a lot of players that fall. Like David Bailey might not even be a top 12 pick. He might even fall in the 20s. It just depends. I think it depends how he finishes this playoff run right now for Texas Tech. That's a big piece in what David Bailey is going to be in April. Let's see. Again, Keldrick Falk, he's going to be not a top 15 pick. He was projected, but he did not have a really good year in terms of pass rush. Again, this defense's front four is not good enough for you to draft a guy like Keldrick Falk. It's just not good enough. If you were like the Eagles, you could take that type of player because you have the potential to develop him. And I'm saying his name because I really do like his size and I really do like his potential as a pass rusher. But right now, it's not there, and we need to draft a player that we can come right away, make an impact, and also have a good ceiling. I said, thoughts on Rico the last couple weeks? Great question. I don't like any of the running backs right now. I really just don't. I'm waiting for Jonathan Brooks to come back. I don't know how y'all feel. Jonathan Brooks is the most talented player in this room. Simple as that. The most talented player. When we drafted him, I know a lot of people are like, why are you taking a running back in the second round? When he's healthy, he's going to prove to y'all why we took a running back in the second round. Okay. And I think a lot of people only did not like that because they didn't know how Dan Morgan's first two classes would hit, and they're hitting right now. So if Jonathan Brooks hits his potential that we all think and believe he does have, that pick's not going to matter. It's not going to matter because that's a great pick. I think he has the potential, man. I'm telling y'all right now, Jonathan Brooks has the potential to be, one of I don't want to get too, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but he's literally he has Derrick Henry's size in terms of height. It could get bigger. Obviously, he's not like the size of Derrick Henry, but in terms of height, He already has the bulkiness. He can catch the ball at the backfield. He can run. He runs the ball hard. He's the type of player that I want to be my running back one for the future. Chuba, you fumbled the ball today. I don't want you on my team. Um, and then Rico, it just fall off. Bro, it's definitely fallen off the last couple of weeks. It is what it is, right? He had 1,000 yards. A lot of those yards came, like 400 of those came from like 2 weeks. So you can take that with a grain of salt. But Rico's not been that good the last 4 or 5 weeks. He hasn't. He hasn't. Bryce Young's been the catalyst on offense the last 4 or 5 weeks. I know a lot of people don't want to agree, but Bryce has been the catalyst of our offense the last 4 to 5 weeks. It just was. And the reason why today our offense couldn't do anything is because, I mean, I heard T-Mac, there was a clip going on when they interviewed him in the locker room after the game. They were asking, they were confused. So they were like, we were confused that they came out in so much man coverage. So what's that telling me is that Dave Canales did not know how to adjust. That's what that's telling me. Are we so serious right now? Your head coach did not know how to adjust because, I mean, it looked like, I mean, there were like half of the passes that Bryce threw today were checkdowns because we had no idea how to, get open, and we had no man beaters. It was probably just a bunch of zone beaters being thrown out there, but they're running man coverage, so no one got open. It just sucks, bro. Like today we had the W in our hands and we lost it. It's just kind of like the season recap for the Panthers this year. Just mistake to lead to L's. But no way, we beat them twice. Yeah. I hope so. Again, I'm going to be on my toes next week. It's going to be a crazy, crazy game to watch for me personally because it's just going to be such a crazy game. Like, when I tell y'all, man, if we win next week, I'm coming on this stream. We might be on a 3-hour stream next week. Like, I might come on here, at 3 o'clock right after the stream, start streaming, just going crazy because I'm telling y'all, I'm 17. I'm about to be 18. Right, so I'm about to be a grown adult. All right, so relax. But I'm 17 right now. And when I tell y'all, the last time we made the playoffs was in 2018 when we played the Saints and we lost with Cam. I was 10. I mean, that I watched the game, but I didn't really like. That was really my first time getting into it. When I tell you I want to experience a playoff, I want to experience Panthers playoffs, bro. I'm not even trolling. And the fact that we had so many opportunities to do it this year, and I haven't been able to experience yet, and I've been a fan my entire life pretty much. It's going to suck. I'm telling you right now, losing this stream is going to be hell for me, and it's going to be hell for y'all because it's just going to be terrible. Like, not making the playoffs is unacceptable. You're allowing an 8-win team to get in the playoffs next week. Dude, please don't allow that. Please don't. Please don't. Because I'm going to have to stomach that all off season, and it's just going to hurt. All right, just get in the playoffs, get a home game, get smacked by the Niners. I will be happy. I will be happy. I'm gonna be honest. Now you said we are going to be depressed. Hey, we are all going to be depressed if we don't beat the Bucks tomorrow. Every single one of y'all on this stream, we are all going to be depressed. I'm not gonna be depressed. Obviously, it's just, I mean, it's gonna suck. But I mean, hey. At least we get to dive in some more draft. If we lose, shoot. If we do, though, get ready to learn Bojangles. Yo. What do you think the Panthers should be going after that 19 pick or whatever after next week in that first round? Around pick 19, that's interesting. Again, it's just this draft is so hard to tell who's going to be where. Like, we kind of know the top 4 players that's going to be in this draft. We kind of know where they're going to fall. Who's going to be top 10. Like, we only have like 5 actual players that we know are locks. There's going to be players that I say are going to be number pick 9 that are going to be like pick 20 because that's how crazy this draft is when it comes to not knowing just who's going to be where, It's just going to be, oh man, I really don't want to have to talk draft next week, but it might have to happen. I don't know why. I just don't. I'm not confident next week. I'm not. I know y'all don't want to hear that negativity, all that. Like, but man. But yeah, when it comes to like pick 19, let's see. In that range, if David Bailey's in that range, sure. Obviously, Mekhi Lemon, if he's in that range. Mansour Delane could definitely be in that range. Jamal McCoy, because of that ACL tear, he's another player that is a top 10 player in this draft, but could easily fall to that range. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting again as we get closer. Who's going to really make their name known? Right now, this is the first draft in a while. This is definitely just going to be an interesting draft. Like, I think we're not going to know till April, like who's going to be where. It's just going to have to be throwing darts, right? I'm going to probably make a big board, kind of who's my top players, who I want to draft in that range. But like, I'm going to be so wrong on where they're going to go because this draft is so weird. Like, it's just so weird who's really the best, who's not, how it's going to fall, because a lot of players with good floors, but the ceilings are iffy, or the floors are high, the ceilings are iffy. It's just like, bro, I have no idea. Bro, me and you been with him since the beginning, and I keep telling people, my family, remember, bro, Jonathan is going to be him, bro. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, man. I tweeted this out like 2 months ago, probably, that like, yes, Rico's going pretty insane, but let's keep in mind, Jonathan Brooks still the most talented player in this room. Like, I just need him to be healthy for one season to prove to y'all why we drafted him into the second round. Like, honestly, I'm at the point now where I don't even care if we let Rico and Chuba go. Right. Honestly, I think it's more possible that we let Rico walk because Chuba is going to be, he's already on contract. And it would just be stupid because Rico's going to demand more than Chuba Hubbard because he hit 1,000 yards and he played so well in that stretch of games. He's going to use that against the front office, as he should, right? As he should, man. Like, I had literally 400 yards of scrimmage in 2 games. Give me $12 million a year, right? Give me more than what Chuba is making, right? I mean, and also Jonathan Brooks just gave him, like, if we do trade Chuba, and that's Rico's argument is Jonathan Brooks is coming off injury, pay me my money. They're going to do it. They actually might do it, but I really hope that, honestly, I will not be upset. I know a lot of you guys are going to be tripping about this. I will not be upset. I know it's going to be trippy just because of Jonathan Brooks' injury history, but Jonathan Brooks and Trevor Etienne, my 2 backs next year, don't even care. Don't even care. Get Chuba out of here. Get Rico out of here. I'm not paying no running back more than $10 million per season unless you're like Saquon Barkley or Christian McCaffrey. Because Rico Dowdle, I told y'all, the running back position is week by week. And look at him now. He's just an average running back. He had that little stretch of 3-4 games that he was like one of the best backs in the league and went downhill. Like, you have, like, the only way you're getting paid 10 plus, $12 million a year as a running back is if you're like Christian McCaffrey level, right? Just let both of them walk. Trade CMC, let Rico walk. Who cares? You have the best running back coming back from injury, which again could be your stance at bringing back Rico. But if he asks for $12 million a year, don't do it. Do not do it. Dan Morgan, if you're watching this, I know you're not. Do not sign Rico Dowdle to that contract. Don't. Just don't do it. But yeah, I actually will not be upset because Trevor Etienne, when he's out there and ran the ball, he actually did not look that bad. So it's my opinion. Again, the running back position is the easiest one, arguably, in football, because it's just how it is, bro. Like, you just get the ball run. If you have high IQ, you get a couple yards here and there. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard. It's really not that hard. And it's a very injured position, which is why I don't care for paying running backs. I don't. And after Rico's big performances, I was like, pay Rico Dowdle, but after that, I was like, I was wrong. And I'm going to continue to stay that way. So, what's up, Ballisto? He said, get Brad Isaac off my team. Yo. Yeah. Honestly, listen, when it comes to the front office, there's no one I want to let go of. Dan Morgan, Dave Canales. I want to get rid of anybody because we did come far. Okay, second year of this regime, we're literally 1 game away from the playoffs. If we get there or not, doesn't matter. It's going to matter to my mental health, but it's not going to matter with how this regime is going to be in the future. Okay, if we make the playoffs and get blown out at home in the wild card game compared to losing next week and just missing the playoffs but getting a better spot in the draft, it's not going to freaking matter. Okay, the only thing that's going to matter is my mental health is going to be cooked for a couple weeks. That's the only thing that's going to matter. Other than that, it's not going to matter if we win next week or not, personally. But this front office is not going anywhere. I think they've proven enough to stay and make things happen Dave Canales, there's question marks, but there's also great things that I love to see from him. Okay. He's learning, guys. Okay. He's learning as a head coach. He's in his second season. We have to understand that. We have to stop 1 week saying he's the greatest head coach we've had in years. Next week, we need to fire him. He's the problem. I mean, yes, it's concerning that he cannot adjust all game long and we end the game with 54 yards passing and there's no adjustments being made. And your receiver says we did not expect man coverage as much as we did, and there was no adjustments. Yes, that's concerning, right? And is it concerning that against the biggest games, he tends to fold up and not throw the ball more? Yes, it is concerning because you're not going to be able to win playoff games when you're hindering your starting quarterback. You're not going to be able to get into the playoffs against the 49ers. Let's say that's probably who we're on track to play, or the Rams, whatever, who we might be on track to play as well. If the Seahawks win their division, which most likely they will, we're not going to get in the playoffs against those teams, those juggernauts. The Rams are one of the best teams in the NFC, if not the best roster-wise, top down. You're not going to beat them by telling Bryce to go out there and hand the ball off and throw checkdowns. You're not. You're going to have to open the pass game up. Okay, you're going to have to. So that's my little rant when it comes to the front office. They're not going anywhere. I understand the concerns. I agree. But the fact that we're in year 2 and we're already 1 game away from the playoffs with 9 wins next week by chance, I'm happy, right? But I'm not if we don't make the playoffs. But, it is what it is. It's GG. I might have to write it out, bro. Yo, it seems like y'all are like really not confident in this game next week. Again, I'm not blaming y'all at all for it because I understand why there's really no confidence about next week. I mean, it's just going to be, again, it's just hard to beat a team twice. That's the only thing that I'm worried about is that stance, is that it literally is hard to beat a team twice, especially in your division and with the division on the line next week. Like, it's just hard to do it, Can we do it? Absolutely. I mean, it's winner goes, takes the division. So at the end of the day, it's really 50-50 chance because I think we're going to come out. I really hope we don't come out with some conservative play calling and just say, defense, do your thing, make some plays. Bryce, we'll let you throw the ball whenever a game-winning drive is needed. Tired of that BS. I hope we come out aggressive with our head on fire, with our hair on fire because, listen, the Bucs are going to do that. With how bad they've been the last couple, 8 weeks, they're going to come out playing hard. They're going to come out wanting this game as much as we do, if not more. So we need to come out next week and win this game and don't be conservative. That's what we need to do. The only problem is I don't know if we're going to do that. But let me read some of the stats out from today's game. I know we've been talking about draft and stuff, man. I love y'all coming here, by the way, doing chat and stuff, talking draft. I love talking draft, if you can't tell. But Bryce Young, 14 for 24, 54 yards, 1 pick. That pick was terrible. But at the end of the day, he's done pretty well the last couple weeks. So that pick is just, it is what it is. It happens, right? It happens to everybody. Picks happen for everybody. Let's see, rushing Rico, 12 carries, 59 yards, averaging 5 yards a carry. Not bad. Chuba Hubbard, 4 carries, 12 yards, averaged 3 yards a carry, had a crucial turnover. Receiving wise, Coker led today with receiving. 2 catches, 16 yards, was the leading receiver. T-Mac, 1 catch, 5 yards. Wow, that's terrible. That's worse than I thought it was going to be. I mean, the leading receiver today was Jalen Coker with 16 yards. And then XL had 1 catch for 3 yards. Not surprising there. I don't even have to mention his name anymore. I'm not going to lie to y'all, man. If XL is going to be a starter next year, that's when we riot because he is a terrorist. He is a terrorist on this team. There's no reason why he should be starting next year in 2026 because he is terrible. He's literally a Jonathan Mingo part 2. I don't want to hear any more excuses about 17 because he's bad. He's not good. He has no awareness. He can't catch the ball consistently. Like, it's just terrible. It's bad. And then we have the defense, Mike Jackson, 11 total tackles, that 1 interception that he had. Christian Roseboom, 10 total tackles, 1 TFL. Trayvon Moore had a very good start of the game. Let's see. He had 4 tackles, 1 sack, 2 TFLs. Trevor Moore, great game, great season so far. Which is why the defense has talent too. Like Derek Brown, JC, Mike Jackson, Trevor Moore. Secondary is actually pretty good if you think about it that way. Let's see. Nick Scorin, he has a sack, he has a TFL, had that strip sack. On Sam Darnold. JC, 2 total tackles, played like a bum today. Isaiah Simmons had a tackle too. Didn't even see Burrow out there, but he did. Our Seahawks side of things. Sam Darnold, 18 for 27, 147, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Zach Charbonnet, 18 carries, 110. Wow, I don't think he had that many yards today. Holy. He had 6.1 yards per carry. Kenneth Walker, 15 carries, 51 yards, 3.4 yards per carry. JSN, 9 catches, 72 yards, 8 yards per catch. For the most part, we actually held him in check. Not a bad game plan today on JSN. That's it from their receiving side of things. Let me see. Their defense, Julian Love had that pick, had 6 total tackles. Again, their defense just did their thing, bro. I mean, I think both defenses did good, but our offense was just worse. It was like a mid-off between offenses. It was like whoever offense can make one play wins the game, and we couldn't do it. Caleb said, trade package, XL and Chuba. Yo. I'm not going to lie to you. Teams are looking at that trade, and they're only seeing Chuba on that trade. If I was a GM and I saw Xavier Legette and Chuba Hubbard on that trade package, I promise you Xavier Legette is not even a freaking value to that trade. Like, I promise you there's no value. Like, with that package, I'm giving up my 4th best pass rusher for that trade. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. XL's been terrible, and Chuba is the second back all year for us. So if I'm a GM and I'm looking at that trade package, I mean, I see what you're saying, right? Obviously, I see what you're saying. It's 2 players that we probably want to get rid of. But if I'm looking at that trade, right, and I'm deciding who I want to give up for those 2 players, I promise you Xavier Legette is not going to be any value to that trade. Like, I'm crossing his name out of that trade. Like, I'm literally looking at Chuba. I'm like, okay, who matches Chuba's value? I mean, you're just throwing a player on there. I like, at that point, if you're Dan Morgan throwing XL in that trade, you're basically just saying, I don't want him here. Okay, just take him for free. Right? That's literally what XL is to that trade. He is nothing. He is absolutely nothing to that trade. But I see what you're saying, right? Just get rid of him, stuff like that. But honestly, yeah, what would be the best trade to get for that? For that bum and that other bum? Let's think. It has to be like the 3rd best pass rusher on a team. Like, I mean, maybe a middle linebacker, but it would definitely not be a starter. I would think so. Like a very good starter. I would probably think like just a depth piece, maybe at corner or linebacker. But I promise you, because Chuba's making $10 million a year, he's not even starting this year. And XL is just a bum who has like 200 yards on the season as a former 1st-round pick. That trade, I'm telling you right now, no team is probably giving us anything good in value, but whew, yeah. But yeah, I mean, those are the stats. And again, listen, before we head off stream, I'm going to probably hop off stream, make a video right away, post that thing for tomorrow morning. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that video. It's going to be recap, kind of just discussing my thoughts about everything. Everybody, everything, my depression, everything's going to be on that video. It's my first video in a while, so it's going to be interesting to see. But we're doing that tomorrow, and then we'll probably go live Saturday night just to probably break down some film for the Bucs, kind of discuss like what we need to exploit to win that game on Sunday. And then Sunday night, it's either we come on here depressed or we come on here the happiest I've ever been. It's one or 2 options. It can't be anything else. Okay, it can't be anything else. If we lose, though, the good news is I'm going to be tapping into my draft film. I'm going to be doing draft for, just crazy draft content for the next couple months. I'm excited about that because last year, I know, Caleb, you were really like my biggest supporter back then when I was like 600 subscribers, when I was doing a bunch of draft people, just breaking down film and everything. This year's going to be even better. I promise y'all. It's going to be even better. The way I break it down, all that stuff. I promise y'all it's going to be so much better. Um, and we're gonna make sure. I'm telling you, I'm gonna make sure y'all know. I'm gonna make sure y'all know players. Again, I'm probably gonna open a Patreon for you guys probably tonight, posting on my Twitter. So if you guys aren't following me on Twitter, Sat Panther Plug, open a Patreon tomorrow after work. Get home, start, you know, doing all 22 for you guys. You know, recording all 22 from Nick Scorin, Mike Jackson, a bunch of different players. You guys can see it yourself. So you guys don't have to do it yourself because I know NFL Plus is like $15 a month. And watching film, a lot of people can't do that. And I understand why. So I'm going to open a Patreon for you guys soon, probably tonight. And then for this week, post like 5 different Panthers players every week. Hopefully next week's not the last week, but I'm going to do that. And then also post draft content. So every week I'm going to have like 8 different all 22s out of basically cut-ups of every player that played good. Some players that played bad, maybe just so you guys can see film, how they did, stuff like that. So it's cool for you guys on that department. Just test it out, see how it works, see if you guys like it. So you guys can watch film for free pretty much for a little bit. And then if that's popping, then we'll see how it goes from there. But the draft content is going to start coming out. And we just up from here. We up from here. Hopefully we don't have to do the draft content next week. Hopefully we can win next week, get into the playoffs, start discussing that, how we can get, how we don't have to get blown out in that first playoff game, how we can keep it close at least, and then head into the draft. That's the plan that I hope happens. But we shall see. We shall see. Appreciate all for y'all coming in. Caleb, Blastito, who else? Maison, SE Panther, B. Amos in the beginning. Appreciate all for coming in. We're going to, again, drop content this week for you guys. I promise, hopefully. I hate recording here, but it is what it is. But we're going to do it. Probably go live next Saturday to break some film down on live stream for you guys. Go live next Sunday. Start doing some draft. Start doing some stuff for you guys and breaking some film down. And the content's going to start ramping up. Okay. And then we're just going to be up from here. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. I haven't been on here for a month, and a lot of y'all showed up today. So appreciate y'all for showing up. And we're going to stay consistent from here on out. I promise y'all that. So if y'all haven't liked the stream yet, do that. If you guys are not subscribed yet, do that. If you guys are not following my Twitter, go do that as well. Again, I'm going to probably post my Patreon on there tonight, if not tomorrow night. When I do get that open for you guys can go follow that. Make sure you guys subscribe on there. I will most likely make it free. If not, the minimum is like $3 a month for that I'm going to have that on. I've never touched Patreon, only to like watch film. I've never had my own Patreon. So I'm going to test it out. If I can make it for free, I will absolutely do that for you guys to start. So you guys can watch that for free. So some film for free. So you guys have a good night. Caleb, you have a good night as well. Just be on the lookout for that video tomorrow morning. And keep pounding, I guess.